So, but no, I think all right, if it gets Sword Art Online level, which for all who don't know what Sword Art Online is, it's basically like it's an anime, and virtual reality has reached the pinnacle where you are literally in the game. Like your mind is in the game, so you feel everything, you smell everything, all the five senses are in tune. And these guys go in there, and kids more like it, and they get trapped in it. And if they die, they actually die in real life. So the only way to get out is to beat the game. And, if it gets to that point where virtuality is consuming people's lives and that they spend years or just days on end in virtuality, then I'm not buying into that because, I love the virtual world. I love it. Love what you can do with it. And I love how it unites people together. But what I don't like is how it pulls away from reality, and you really just... Reality's there. It's always going to be there. You can't escape it. So, I mean, sure, you may be able to stave off the fiction of, just to stave off reality for a little bit, but it's still there. When you're playing your game, you're still that person. You haven't changed at all. So, because that player that you're playing doesn't exist. My Destiny character doesn't exist, but I sometimes treat him like he does. So
it's kind of like driving around in GTA normally. Yeah. You get so caught up in playing the game that you just want to make sure your character has a little bit of breathing room or something like that, or you just want to take a nice Sunday drive. I mean, the Big Bang Theory made fun of it, how Sheldon went on Red Dead Redemption and was having shots because he wasn't feeling well. And he was and Leno came up to him and Sheldon asked him, hey, do you want a shot? He was like, no, I got to drive on GTA label. That's I'm annoyed. I'm not going to deny that. So to that point, if you get caught up in that fandom, I'm not saying that's bad. That's far from it. I mean, heck, I think I'm going to be playing Minecraft on a PC for years to come, way after it dies, if it ever does. Because it's just like MySpace. MySpace was a big thing. Then Facebook came out. I think everybody's just waiting for the next big thing to hop on.
That's me. Look, man, I'm not gonna lie. You finish your thought and I'll do my thought.
Nah, you go ahead.
I am an extrovert gamer, meaning I have the most fun when I play with people. So I'm not a big fan of... I used to be a fan of single-player games. I used to be story-driven. That's the only way we can play games is story, story, story. Now I'm just kind of hey, you give me a weak backstory, but really good game mechanics, I'll buy your game. So, and I think it's why I haven't fallen... even though, Destiny is a real grind, you get the grind to level up, but I've fallen in love with Destiny because it offers really good game mechanics. It's really smooth. And you really feel immersed into games, and that's what I love about video games is when you feel like you're there. So, because some games are just so clunky that you can't run them, and you can't feel like you're actually there because you have to constantly jerk the controller or the mouse just to shoot at somebody. But no, Destiny is very smooth to it, and I enjoy that about it.
Well, I think that's what made you different just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like a game with a good story. That's probably just me, though. I mean, granted, yeah, I'm all about the graphics sometimes, but to the point, if a game has no story and no replay value, I won't even play it half the time. I mean, granted. Some games you gotta have to play, like Portal. That was a series, no replay value of any sorts, unless you just wanted to play it again. And it's because it's unique.
Yeah. Or you watch gameplay video of Portal. That's what I did to get cultured. So, I mean, because I do agree, there's some games they're games that you need to know about because it's part of gaming culture. The Half-Life games are one of them because of just how big they are and how many jokes and stuff there is about it. So, and then Portal as well because Valve is very big. You know, Valve, I think, in my personal opinion, I think Valve really comes out with really good quality games because
I'm not going to deny that. Because Valve, and to an extent, Bungie was, and I'm saying that because of the recent partnership with Activision. Activision was never a company that produced a good game twice. Like Call of Duty, when it first came out, they improved it with the consoles, and then they put it past, instead of waiting for the next console to come out to improve it, let's just bump up what we can instead of updating the ones that are already there or putting content out for the ones that are already there. Because Advanced Warfare, all it is Titanfall, which I think is another Activision game. Is it?
Titanfall? Let me see. No, that's not. Activision is no.
I thought Activision had their pockets in it.
Hold on. No, Respawn Entertainment, EA.
Well, let's just say it like this. I'm all for companies sharing ideas, but when you have one company that comes out and they have these biosuits that can make you jump 10 stories high and punch down a wall, and then another company just so happens to have another game coming out like that, maybe a year later, I would be checking into that shit.
Yeah.
Just because it's just one of those things. You can't always just believe what you see. And I've always been a kind of like promoter of that. Because, say, for instance, and I'm just going to do this real quick. Xbox or Apple?
Xbox or Apple.
More importantly, Microsoft, Apple company.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft makes good gaming consoles, rather it be Xbox or the PCs. Apple, great mobile company, meaning phones, tablets, whatever. At the beginning, they were great, especially with the music players. I'm not going to lie, because I still have my iPod.
Yeah.
Just because I used to have an MP3 player, which was, I think, a Microsoft little thing. But it crapped out a year later. It never dropped. It never anything. It just stopped working. It didn't want to hold a charge, and it just said it had a lot of crap on it that wasn't even there. But to the point, I would never buy a MacBook. Never. Even if someone tried to sell me one today for $1, and it would be a $1,000 laptop, I would not buy it because it's just a piece of shit, in my opinion. But to the same extent, Microsoft, specifically Alienware, what you are buying is the name. I mean, I have an Asus. That's pretty much as good as you can get without having to spend Alienware money.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, HP and Dell, they have their perks, but Asus is more for a higher performance, a better picture, just something that can hold performance value.
You get more bang for your buck in those aspects, because Dell, I've heard bad things about, Alienware and Dell, so just how overpriced they are.
No, nothing. There's a difference between Asus, which is ASUS, and Acer, ACER.
Yeah, don't go with Acer.
Acer is more of a cheap college laptop, meaning if you're only going to write books on it or papers, that's what it's meant for. Do not try to game on it. I'm sorry.
Well, you can.
That's
what I game on.
You're
gonna get bad results.
Because my Minecraft server used to run on my Acer, and the only problem was it could not even handle having a JavaScript open.
Mm-mm.
And I mean, it was a 2005 laptop, but my MSI, which was the laptop I used to record on, was also a 2005 version of a laptop. And the difference was, I could play games, couldn't play games. That's the difference. And I have no idea what we got onto this topic about laptops. Like, gaming, laptops, delicious.
Hey, I like where it's going. And I'm going to keep it going that way. Because let me tell you about my Acer. I have done so much work to get it to its gaming capacity. But even then, it gets bogged down by things because of just how low processing power it has. Like I have an Acer Aspire, and it's from 2007, and it has like 1.7 gigahertz of processing power, and that's barely enough to run any game like TF2 or Killing Floor. And then it has 4 gigs of RAM, but most of the times it only has 3. It's because, the 1.7 of it is being used by the computer just to sustain itself. And, it was $300. So it was, I got what I paid for. A decent low-end gaming computer.